Hawaii is Mayor Mitch Roth to talk about the latest Mauna Loa developments. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me. Morning.
Mayor Roth, this is a big turn of events. How has that changed what's happening on your end?
Well, there's a collective sigh of relief that we don't have lava flowing over the Daniel K. Inouye Highway right now. But we're still in a warning. The USGS scientists still are seeing some swelling. And so we're just in a wait and see. We're continuing to prepare for the worst, but hoping for the best. And right now, things are looking really good for us as the lava is not approaching the highway anymore.
Yeah, it's good to hear that it is stagnant at that flow front. Now, can you tell us about the collaboration with the U.S. Army to open Old Saddle Road as an observation route? How did that come into play?
Well, we had closed the Daniel K. Inouye Highway for, stopping and viewing because it was very dangerous. People were going at 60 miles an hour, jumping out of their cars with kids, and that was a recipe for disaster. So we made some calls. We called up the base commander, Kevin Cronin, and started talking to him. And then we started getting on the phone with other partners, such as Ed Sniffen from the Department of Transportation. We even talked to Governor Josh Green at the time. And it was pretty amazing that within one day we were able to make something happen. And I think, we talk about that one day, how great that was, but for the last couple of months, we've really been talking to a lot of our partners to make things happen. And so it seemed quick, but we had some great communication. We had no idea that we were going to put a road right there, but it worked out because of the great relationships that we already had in place.
And it was a week ago Friday. I remember I was there. I spoke to many families who were very happy that they could, just pull over there, and were very pleased with how quickly that solution, came about. National Guard has been out there as well in an enforcement role. And I was out with DLNR one evening, and we saw people that were hiking beyond where they were supposed to. How has that developed? Are people getting the idea yet that that's a bad idea?
Well, I hope so, because DLNR has started to give citations out there, and it really is dangerous. A lava flow is not where you want to be, especially on lava. If you trip out there, you could have problems. We were out there one night where people were calling for help. Turned out it was some guy who was drunk, but it ended up sending out police, fire, and an ambulance to look for him. And that's dangerous in itself. When you have a dangerous situation and you have to take your first responders and move them around, it really impacts us. And so we ask people to be respectful. They were able to see the lava flow. Right now, the views aren't as great as they were last week. The flows have really come down quite a bit.
How important is it to stay in the designated areas? There was that incident that a training ordinance was found. Somebody wandered off. A lot of the lava rock, there's very clear signs that say to stay off of it. How important is that?
Well, it's really important. One, for the safety, but there's also protected areas for Department of Land and Natural Resources have some areas that they're trying to keep for the native habitat, and it's going on to other people's property. So we really want to encourage people to stay away from the lava. There's really not much to see out there other than lava, and you can see that right along the highway. You can see that at the Volcanoes National Park. So not really a lot to see when the flow's not really heating up and showing its beauty.
I was reminded by Lieutenant Colonel Cronin also that is trespassing onto federal land in part because that area is the Pauakalua military training area. We talked a little bit in a press conference this week that there is a history of using radiological weapon depleted uranium. Has the county monitored or done any kind of survey? There was a resolution back in 2008 by the Hawaii County Council and the House here for the state of Hawaii in 2017 had asked for an assessment. Where does the county stand on that? Has there been any communication and follow-up?
Yeah, so I've actually done a little bit of research. I guess in 2013, the Department of Health actually did a study on that. They found that the depleted uranium was not much of a threat. It's in areas that are kind of off limits. And I think, when they talk about the lava covering it, actually may even be a little bit better because it's completely covered, but not too much of a threat that we found.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us, Mayor Mitch Roth from the Big Island in Hawaii. And it seems like the crowds have died down a little bit, or what are you saying?
I think that the crowds are dying down quite a bit. When you're not having those fountains going 700 feet in the air or even 200 feet in the air, and it's hard to see right now. So, yeah, they've quite a bit died off.